What a trade deadline. Much, much different than last year. I feel better about it. Nothing truly overwhelmed me with, damn, I love this move. But the one I liked the most was getting Clay Holmes. Welcome back to Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy, Trade Deadline Special Edition. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy, or on Twitter at dbutler79 and at Born into the Ivy. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave us a 5-star review on YouTube and or any audio platform. All right. Additions. Right-handed reliever, Ryan Zeferjahn. Good things about this guy. We'll just go over him as I say him. How about that? Zeferjahn has a current 3.66 ERA, a FIP of 3.77, a 41.7% ground ball rate, 33.5% strikeout rate. However, he does have a 14.3 walk rate. So he's going to walk some batters. And that's not a good thing. We want that to get fixed. But this guy is under control. He's not a free agent until I think it's 2030. 2031 is when he is a free agent. However, that is the reason that Mo Baller was traded for him. Moises Ballesteros, along with Mason McGuire, was traded for Ryan Zeferjahn. A lot of people are probably not going to like that. I understand that. I understand why that's the case. I like it. It wasn't going to be Ballesteros and Owen Ayers. Owen Ayers, if you don't know much about the minors, go check this guy out. He has been absolutely dominant this season at high A, at double A, and now at triple A. His numbers keep being dominant, no matter which level he's at. He's 25 years old. He's probably going to be on the major league roster next year, barring some catastrophe. And frankly, that's what happened for Ballesteros, a catastrophe. So, yes, it sucks, but it is what it is, folks. On Baseball Savant, Zeferjahn has an expected ERA of 2.95. So, although his ERA is in the mid-threes, he's got a great expected ERA, a great expected batting average. I mean, there is red all over the place, and red is what you want in this case. He has a very low chase, but he has a great whiff, 96th percentile in whiffs, 97th percentile in Ks, 4%, 4th percentile in walks. I told you, walks is the issue, right? Ground ball is not great, but he keeps the ball in the park consistently. A really, really good arm. Probably not the ultimate back-end arm that I was looking for, but it's a really good one. And with the ones we've got supposedly coming back, it'll be a good thing. He will help bridge the gap to Jacob Webb. I believe until Daniel Palencia comes back, this should now take Jacob Webb out of being a rotating guy. He needs to become the closer until Palencia comes back. That's my thoughts, and that's what I think should happen because I understood the reasoning. He was the only guy that you truly 100% that's currently in the pen. I believe in this guy 100%. There's other guys like Rollison that I trust and I think will be good, or they are good, but it wasn't, hey man, I'm not at all nervous like I wasn't with Webb. I'm not nervous with Webb, and I think that Zeferjahn can come in and be that guy again until Palencia comes back, and then I mean, it just extends it all the more and all the better, right? I think Ethan Roberts helps kind of solidify some of that a little bit. Some people are probably going to poo-poo that, but that's my thoughts with it. Sorry, I'm trying to clear space here. So, we also traded for a guy named Braxton Garrett. I believe Braxton Garrett was a pivot. And it was something that happened when the whole Reed Detmers thing happened. It was reported that Detmers was going to be on the Chicago Cubs, and it didn't happen. My guess is some kind of snag happened. They pivoted to Braxton Garrett as a upside arm. This guy was a first-round pick, 7th overall by the Marlins, has had some really good seasons in 22 and 23. Ran into a lot of arm issues and injuries and has not been able to bounce back yet. I think the Cubs probably looked at this guy as a possible. I mean, they're very familiar with the Marlins. His ground ball rate has consistently been around 50%. He has an incredible high ERA this year, has had minimal time in the big leagues this year. But if you look at his 22 and 23, specific 23 season, he had 159 and 2/3 innings in 23. Had an ERA of 3.66 and a FIP of 3.68. WAR 3.1. His expected ERA, though, was 4.57. His strikeout rate in that season was 23.7. His walk rate was 4.4. If we go look at his page on Baseball Savant, in 2022, he had a very high 87th percentile in chase rate and a 72 percentile in walk rate and ground ball rate. In 23, his biggest year, he had a 77% chase rate, a 97th percentile in walk rate, and an 80th percentile in ground ball rate. There's a lot that can be done with this kid with a really good defense. And so I understand the reasoning that they got him at this point because of some of the other trades they made. I would expect him to go back to AAA. That's my thoughts. I think Javier Assad is probably ticketed for that. But I do like the player. I don't like what we gave up for him. Don't get me wrong. I think there's higher upside with him versus a guy like Jace Beck, who was the pitcher that we gave up for him. Jonathan Long probably wasn't going to make this team. Unfortunately, that sucks because I like he's the hottest hitter in the Cubs system, minor league system, over the last 6 weeks, but he had been terrible before that. So, I like Jonathan Long. I just don't see a path for him in the big leagues. He's not really translated well to being a possible outfielder while in the minors, so you don't see that happening too well in Wrigley either. So although I think they definitely overpaid some, just like we did for Zephyrhan, I understand the thought process. Ballesteros probably wasn't going to get the run that we wanted him to. He has not done well at AAA after being sent down, where Owen Ayers was. And if one of them needed to go and the Angels wanted a catcher, that made more sense. So the trade with the Mets brought in Clay Holmes and Tyrone Taylor. I have talked extensively that I really liked Holmes. I thought that would be a great piece to bring in. He is a rental, though, and so the concern is what we gave up. We gave up a guy who has high upside, is a top 100 prospect, and the Cubs' number 2 prospect, Jefferson Rojas. But here's the thing. Jefferson Rojas was not going to be on this roster anytime soon, barring a ton of injuries. As much talent as the young man has, as good as he can be, and he can be really good, there wasn't a path. I wouldn't take him over Pedro Ramirez. I wouldn't take him over Matt Shaw, and I'd probably take him over Bregman, if I'm being honest. But I wouldn't take him over Bregman right now. Even given some of the issues, I certainly wouldn't take him over Bregman now. So the point is, there wasn't a path for him to be on this roster. The Mets probably look at him as a get back of Pete. I don't think he's got Pete talent in him, but they probably do. And so that's probably what they're hoping for. More power to him. I don't want that for the Mets, but I don't want to wish ill will on Jefferson Rojas. I hope he has a very good career. Again, I think that we overpaid some. I think there was probably a bit of panic. We got a strong starting pitcher / relief pitcher. I'm guessing will be starting pitcher in Clay Holmes. He was a great relief pitcher with the Yankees. The Mets signed him last year, converted him into being a starter. He had a 3.53 ERA, went 12-8 last year. Has started this year with a 2.39 ERA. This dude is a ground ball machine. And with our defense, that can only bring great things. I loved this possible solution and this possible matchup. And we got it. Now, hopefully, it continues to thrive. That's what we need. We need Clay Holmes to absolutely thrive and be a frontline-esque starter. He's got a 75% chase rate this season, a 84% barrel rate, so like the less, and a 95th percentile of the ground ball rate. Great movement with all of his pitches on Baseball Savant. A really, really exciting thing. And then I also saw that Tyrone Taylor was in this trade, and I was like, why are we getting Taylor? This dude has a 900 OPS against right-handed or left-handed pitching. We're already one of the better teams against left-handed pitching. He's only going to help that out, which is a fantastic thing and what we need. I would also say that this probably leads into we're not sure what's going on with Matt Shaw, to be frank, for this year. And so this gives us more length. With that, I would expect that Justin Dean will go down after tonight. Or, I mean, Taylor's probably not going to be playing tonight. But after tonight, I would expect that Justin Dean won't be on the roster anymore. And that's okay. That doesn't Tyrone Taylor's definitely an upgrade over him. I mean, most people probably are. But he's not an upgrade defensively over Justin Dean. A good, solid piece to be in a platoon situation. Do not want this guy playing against righties. He sucks against righties. And that leads me to Kevin Gausman. The Cubs traded for Kevin Gausman last night. We talked about that a little bit more for Brett Bateman and Ty Southstein. I'm not going to go over a bunch again about Kevin, but I really, really like that addition as well. So this is where I'm going to review the subtractions. Moises Ballesteros, Mason McGuire, Jonathan Long, Jace Beck, Jefferson Rojas, Cole Mathis, Brett Bateman, and Ty Southstein. I'm also going to highlight some of the guys that we were able to keep in this organization. Most of them are a lot. There's a lot of outfielders that I really was excited that we kept. 3 of them. Josiah Hartshorn, who is our number 1 prospect. Ethan Conrad, who I think probably should vault up to number 2 now. Kane Kepley, right-handed pitcher Jackson Wiggins. I was okay with him going, but I'm glad that he's still here. And then Caleb Wing and Dominique Reed. Those 7 prospects that I was really excited are still in the organization, even with the pieces we were able to add. Our starting staff, in my opinion, right now, before Cabrera comes back, should be Matthew Boyd, Clay Holmes, Shota Imanaga, Kevin Gausman, and David Peterson. Out of that would be Colin Ray and Javier Assad. So, I think that you can put Assad at AAA. He's not going to like that. I understand why he wouldn't like that, but it allows us to keep him and Colin Ray in the organization. And then in the pen, you would have Jacob Webb, Zephyrhan, Theobar, Rollison, Thornton, Antoine Kelly, and Colin Ray. Now, if you want to put Assad in there and take out one of those other guys, like Antoine Kelly, I'm not opposed to that. But that's a lot of back and forth for him. And we might want to keep him stretched out, and at least until Cabrera comes back and we figure out what else is going on. I think there's an argument to be made for that. So I think this whole thing was designed to make the pitching staff better. It also made our bench better with the Tyrone Taylor play. Again, initially I was like, why the hell is he coming in this trade? I looked into it more, and it makes more sense. I like the addition of him on the bench and against left-handed pitching. The pitching staff in general is far stronger. Penn is still a little wonky. We need some of these guys to be coming back soon. I'm expecting Milner to be coming back very soon, but I didn't put him on there until I know. I would put him in Kelly's spot. I would put him in Thielbar's spot, to be frank. And I hate saying that, but I mean, reality's reality, and we're going to have some tough decisions that the organization has to make, and that's one of those tough decisions. Milner's far better than Thielbar. We all know this. But do we keep Thielbar and send Assad down? Like, there's merits to both, and I'm not opposed to either way. So, thank you very much for joining me on this special edition for the podcast with the trade deadline. I am really much more excited about what we got this year versus what we did last year. I also think that although we gave up some really good talent, we still kept the core pieces that we really need. We got Ayers still for the catcher spot, and we have those 3 outfield spots. And those are so important because I'm not saying any of them are available right now, but we're losing 2 outfielders after this year. Ian Happ and Seiya Suzuki are both free agents. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't even know if there's going to be a 27 season. I get all that. But those guys aren't going to play in the minors next year either if there's all this other stuff. So, well, actually, I'm not 100% sure how that works. Put that on the back burner. But thank you for listening. Check us out on Facebook at Clark and Addison Born Into the Ivy, and or on Twitter at dbutler79 and at Born Into the Ivy. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. Let's go, Cubbies. Take it there, Paisley.
Go, Cubs, go!
Have a great day.